Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this information session about the new and exciting Wells College at MCC program in business. We're very glad that you've taken time to spend with us this morning to hear about the program, and we're excited to get started. My name is Gerard Turbide. I'm Vice President for Enrollment at Wells College. And before we get going, just a little bit about Wells. Wells is a nationally recognized private liberal arts college. We're right in your backyard. Wells is about 1 hour and 18 minutes from Rochester, New York. And we've been here for over 150 years. Wells was founded by Henry Wells, who also founded Wells Fargo and American Express. So business is in our blood and goes way back to our very beginnings. This program is designed to allow students to complete their bachelor's degree, receive that degree from Wells College, yet complete your studies in your own environment and on the downtown campus in Rochester. So you won't be on our campus all that much, although you're invited to come and see it. But I think what we really want to talk about today is the program and the people that make Wells College so special, and in particular, our faculty and the high quality of the faculty at Wells that will be working with you. I have a friend who's an English professor, and she often reminds me, if you are going to get on a bus, you better make sure where the bus is going. Buses have on the front of them, hopefully, a sign that says, here's where we're going. And if you use the bus system to move around Rochester, you know the story if you've gotten on the wrong bus. Mission statements are like the sign on the bus for colleges, in my estimation. And so, know what the mission is of the institution that you're joining. We have a beautiful, elegant, and meaningful mission. We educate students to think critically, reason wisely, and act humanely as they cultivate meaningful lives. And this is really critical when we think about the nature of our business program at Wells, which is really focused on ethical decision-making, sustainable business practices, and leveraging the world of business, not only to be successful and profitable, but also to make the world a better place. So why pursue a bachelor's degree? You're already on the track to complete your associate's degree at a very fine institution at MCC. But there are reasons to think forward about the bachelor's degree. And we encourage you to have this conversation too with your current advisors at MCC about this choice. Certainly, there's the question about lifetime earnings, and there is good data available that states very clearly that individuals who pursue and complete bachelor's degrees will likely make more money over the course of their lifetime. One study I've read that looks at the investment of a four-year degree indicates that that investment will actually add at least close to $1 million to your lifetime earnings. Wells College is a liberal arts college, and the degree in business has a liberal arts core. And pursuing that coursework, learning those lessons really prepares you for some things that we know employers value most of all. These are things that are often called the soft skills: critical thinking, problem solving, the ability to collaborate, the ability to think outside the box. All of these things are rated as very important for employers, as the National Association for Colleges and Employers has outlined. You also get more time when you pursue a bachelor's degree to do two important things. One is to pursue and complete internships, which have a high correlation with career success and your preparation. The other is time to build a network. You already, I assume, have a great network with people that you've met through MCC. This gives you the opportunity to join a second campus community, pursue a second degree, and be part of a second extended family, if you will. 85% of jobs are filled through what a colleague of mine calls the hidden market, or through networking, with many of them not being publicized at all. So that network development is really critical. So that's about why the bachelor's degree, why Wells. And here I just want to tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do as an institution. We are a small college. We are under 400 undergraduate students. And so it's really interesting to walk around on this campus. Everybody here seems to know each other by first name. And I believe small is powerful. So what that means is we are able to do everything one student at a time. In fact, I would suggest we're probably the leading college in the ability to provide students with tailored experiences to each individual student. We combine all the academic rigor that you would expect, all the coursework and effort toward developing the life of the mind for students, with real world hands-on experience through internships, experiential learning, and every opportunity. In fact, every student who graduates from Wells is required to complete internship or experiential learning activities. We think our campus is the ideal place to learn. I can't imagine anybody not wanting to study here, and yet that's the great thing about American higher education, is that you have many, many options. And for you, likely the ideal place to learn is in Rochester. So this allows you the opportunity to get this Wells education, stay close to home, stay close to family, continue to enjoy the garbage plates, catch a Red Wings game, all of that you've come to know and love is in your life in Rochester, New York. So we want to bring Wells to you so you can continue to learn in your ideal place. And we are a historic institution with long-standing traditions. We could probably talk for hours about some of the quirky traditions that Wells students and alumni participate in, but we're not going to do that today. What we are going to focus on is the traditions of academic rigor, academic excellence, and alumni connections. And part of this incredible thing about being such a small institution is the way alumni and students interact at Wells. I have never seen anything like this. I've been at other institutions. I've seen alumni come back to campus. They interact with their classes, and that seems to be, the way students connect. Here at Wells, it doesn't really matter what year you graduated. Alumni know each other, and they actually connect directly with our experience, our students. So that makes for a really powerful networking environment with alumni who really care about your future and are looking to help you get the next, the leg up on the next step in your career. So the advantages of this MCC Wells College transfer agreement: you get a high quality, high touch, highly personalized private education, and you're going to get this for the cost of a SUNY education. We are committed to making this an affordable opportunity for you. You get to continue to study with your peers that you've come to know through your work at MCC, and you can do that on your downtown campus. So that is for your convenience, your ease of transition, and your ability to keep this in step with your life and your goals. And we guarantee that your courses are going to transfer. We've defined a pathway. We are actually defining this pathway for your success as we plan. So our goal here with this new and exciting program, which we are building as we move forward, is to make this a seamless experience for each and every one of you. And this is affordable. So this is the cost that we are planning on for the first year of the program. We are committed to the cost being that of a SUNY institution, so just under $8,700 a year. And if you qualify for federal Pell Grants or a New York State tuition assistance program, need-based aid, you can further reduce the cost of this program. It's easy to apply. This is the program you want to select, that one in the middle, the Business/MCC Wells Transfer Agreement. And you'll find that either by using the Transfer Common app and selecting Wells College, or you can come right to our website and complete the Wells College application. So next steps, if you want to continue on this journey with us, apply, obviously, file the FAFSA, designate Wells College as a recipient, and be in touch with us as well. Melinda Slauson is with us. She is our Senior Assistant Director for Transfer Admissions. She's going to place in the chat a link as well. So if you haven't given us your information, please do that so we can keep in touch with you and connect. We're not going to bother you. If you tell us to go away, we'll go away, but we really want to know who you are and be in touch and talk with you further about this program. So that's a quick overview. I want to get right to the really important piece, which is the conversation with our campus community. We have alumni, we have faculty, and we have staff in the mix. And we're excited to have an interactive conversation where we talk about all the great things at Wells. So with that, I'm going to ask each individual on our panel to introduce themselves, and then we can begin talking about the program. I'm going to start with Melinda Slauson.
everybody. I'm the Assistant Director for Transfer Admissions, and some of you may have seen me at MCC's campus. I try to be there every once in a while, and as the program gets underway, I hope to be there even more often. Welcome.
And Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Wells. I'm class of 2016. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about how great Wells is.
And Provost Speaker.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Speaker. Wells College's Provost and Dean of the College, which means I'm the college's Chief Academic Officer. Glad you're here.
Linda Galbato.
Hi, everybody. I'm Director of Academic and Career Advising at Wells, and I will be working with you on course selection and registration, as well as internship coordination and ultimately your career search.
And Zach.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Zach Darpino. I am class of 2020. I'm super excited to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about Wells and all the great things we have to offer.
David.
Hi, everybody. My name is David, class of 2019. I'm also very excited to talk about Wells and a business program.
Tristan.
Hey, everybody. My name is Tristan McLaughlin. I am also the class of 2019. Great to see you, David. Excited to tell you all about the Wells experience and what it has to offer. Thanks.
Kevin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Miles, Director of the Sullivan Center for Business and Entrepreneurship here at Wells, and I'm glad that you could join us today.
And Keegan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Keegan Evans, class of 2015. I actually graduated with a computer science degree, but essentially had a business minor. I was very involved with the business school at Wells.
And Aaron Ryan, Associate Professor. And Aaron, you're going to give us a kind of your sense of an overview of the program.
Yes, hi, my name is Aaron Ryan. Thank you everybody for joining us. I am one of the faculty members and also serve as a chair for the business department. Just to give you a sense of how the programs can work, eventually you're gonna have, you'll be working with your advisors at MCC and they'll know exactly what courses transfer. We will have that all set up. And then the 2 years that we will be at MCC downtown campus, you'll be taking a variety of courses like personal financial management, introduction to human resource management, entrepreneurship, innovation and creative problem solving, an internship and career prep networking class, a variety of electives that at the moment we're still in the process of figuring out, but it will be clear to you what those will be. And it's supposed to be a cohort model is what we're planning for. But again, some of these things are in the works.
Thank you, Aaron. And Kevin, maybe I'll come back to you a little bit and ask you to kind of start this conversation with a little bit about what makes the Wells Business Program special, unique, and also maybe get things started in particular with our alumni.
I'd be glad to. The group here of staff and faculty have all been at other institutions, so we have a lot of things that we can compare that enable us to tell you what some of the unique qualities and differences are at Wells. I will tell you that, first of all the faculty at Wells are actually working in industry. They all have current experience, whether they be CFOs of firms, whether they be management consultants or another position. So you're not going to learn just from people who are experts on theory, who've read the textbooks and are teaching you from the textbooks. They are very hands-on. And so the students here have the ability to not only be in regular contact with their faculty, but you can reach out to your faculty at just about any time. I had a student contact me late last evening. Now that was about final exams, but in any case, they were able to reach me at 10 p.m. and I'm not suggesting that you should call everyone late at night, but Erin regularly is in touch with students, whether they contact her, during the day or the evening. There are all kinds of unique opportunities for students. The faculty all have direct connections with different businesses and different industries where they can help you and guide you, not only career-wise, but also relative to internships. And internships are so important in trying to understand what your interests really are. Quite often students will go into a certain major thinking that they want to pursue a certain type of career, but really through the internships, they can fine tune that. And I think some of the alums who are with us today, I know some of their experiences, and I know they can even tell you how they may have really changed their career trajectory just from the internship experiences. So those are just some of the things that make Wells unique, and that will help you gain a very valuable education in the Wells Business Program. Maybe Lindsay, maybe you could start, if you would, just chat a little bit about your internship experience and your career trajectory and how that has helped to guide you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. So when I was a senior at Wells, I had the opportunity, again, thanks to our kind of small connected college, where there was an inn at a plastics company in Auburn nearby. So it was my first kind of step into an office role, and what does that look like, and what kind of soft skills do I need to develop in order to be, establish myself as a businesswoman. But it was also a chance for me to really get a good understanding of it, if human resources, which was what my internship was about, was something that I wanted to follow through with. I took this class in pairing with our Intro to Human Resources class at Wells. So there were a couple of weeks where I definitely felt like I was the star pupil, because I had just learned something on my internship that I could speak to in class. And I think that the focus that Wells puts on finding internships and kind of finding the right internship for you, because, there's not many of us, so you have a pretty good relationship with everyone from admissions to career advancement and all of your professors. They can find something that's a good fit for you, a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a stretch. So from there, had an offer, which was great, but Auburn wasn't a place that I wanted to stay. I'm from Vermont. The mountains call me. So ended up finding a different opportunity where I worked quickly up their management trainee program, and have just recently gotten a new position as a lead talent specialist for a HR section of an accounting firm. So all to say, when you kind of think back on your time at Wells and the opportunities that it provides you, I can confidently say I wouldn't be in this role that I am right now had I not had that experience with an HR team in a plastics company. So let me know if that made sense.
And we did, thank you, Lindsay. We didn't mention that Professor Ryan is from the Rochester area, and so is Zach Darpino, one of the other alumni who have joined us today. So maybe Zach, you could tell us a little bit about your intern experience and how that has guided you into your current career path.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, so in college, right, Wells definitely places a massive emphasis and focus on that whole internship aspect of it. Lots of schools, they might require one internship, but it could be something that you kind of just do on campus. With Wells, one of them has to be off campus, one of them has to be on campus. And through constant conversations with Linda Galbato, Professor Ryan, and Professor Miles, we kind of searched what was the best program for me. So this summer, I actually was the director of a sports program for a Camp North Point in Rochester. I don't know if some of you guys are familiar with that, where I was kind of given the full reins to essentially run a budget, start this program from scratch in terms of like having something there be sports, right? Because what's a summer camp without sports? So it was a pretty cool opportunity for me to run basically a small team, run a budget, and kind of use those skills to kind of better myself in terms of classwork with Professor Kevin and Professor Aaron. And then, now it's my current career. I am currently a territory manager for Tektronic Industries. We own brands such as like Milwaukee Power Tools, Ryobi Power Tools, as well as Hoover and Dirt Devil Vacuums. So now with my experience that I gained through internships at Wells, I feel very confident to lead a group of team and manage a sales force of 15 representatives right now. So, without my experience at Wells with the internships and the constant guidance that I received from, like I said, Linda, Professor Ryan, Professor Miles, and a bunch of other people at the campus, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today.
Great. And David, maybe you can tell us about how internships have helped you and your career trajectory.
No, definitely. So I think the funny thing with my internship experience is before even attending Wells, I had 2 internships, and they were both in marketing fields. And I initially wanted to come in the English department. So I thought I wanted to be like a creative writing person and be in the English department. But after my 2 internships, I was like, I really like marketing. Like, this is really nice. So I was able to go into Wells knowing exactly what I wanted to do, or at least what I knew I liked. And then from there, I worked with Aon Awaji-Rubin. We're an entertainment insurance company. And everything I've learned from my internship in Wells has really kind of played a role. We take classes there as well. And I remember we had to do a Porter's 5 Forces, a Porter's 5 Forces analysis. And I was like, where do I know this from? Of course, the business department. So my internship experience kind of led me into knowing what I wanted to do, or what classes I wanted to take at Wells. And then from there, the classes just kind of curtailed my experience. So I'm doing now, and it's helped a lot.
Great, thank you. And Tristan, he participated in the business competition at Wells for several years. Actually, each year he didn't only pitch one business idea, but he pitched multiple business ideas. And I think their mentors and judges liked his ideas because he won 6 first-place prizes in different divisions while he was a student at Wells. So Tristan, can you tell us a little bit about both your intern experience and how you've been able to pursue your or follow your passion relative to ideas and business concepts?
Yeah, thank you for that little brag there, Kevin. I appreciate that. But yeah, so originally when I came to Wells, I really wanted to get into the sports marketing field. So my first internship, I promise I'm not copying Zach here, but I actually ran a summer camp program. So I got to be in charge of the budget program, et cetera. And just kind of doing that really wasn't for me. So then I began to get more involved in the innovation side and such at Wells. I also played sports, got a bunch of concussions, and it just started sparking ideas how I can kind of help improve the concussion field. So I got into the business competitions through Kevin pushing me to get in, and I just absolutely loved it. And from there, and then doing all these competitions, winning these competitions and such, it really just sparked this creativity side of me. And from there, I got into a summer incubator at Hobart William Smith as one of my extra learning experiences. As well, I was part of the grind on Wells campus. So it's a completely student-run cafe. So I was a manager there doing inventory and marketing. So you really got to create what the drinks and features are and such. And then from that, I knew my senior year, I really wanted to get into product management with a company. So actually, again, it's going to sound like I'm copying Zach here, but so I also work for Tektronic Industries. However, I am a product coordinator for Ryobi Power Tools. So every day I'm here trying to figure out what our problems, what our customers' problems are and how we can fix them, et cetera. And so based off that, it's just exactly what I wanted, and just that pathway from thinking what I wanted to do and then learning about the experiences through the internships, classes, et cetera, has brought me to what I'm doing now today.
You know, one of the common trends in education, particularly business education these days with university students is this interest and movement towards entrepreneurship. And there's some data that suggests that well over 50% and approximately 75% of students graduating these days from college, from 2-year and 4-year colleges, would like to get into entrepreneurship. And so not only is Tristan and the others that you've heard from interested and active in entrepreneurship, but Keegan Evans was too. And so I'll turn it over to Keegan to tell you about his experiences, both at Wells and both with the numerous businesses that of which he is founder.
Yeah, absolutely. What's amazing about Wells internships, just to go back on that a little bit, is that they're so framed towards you. You know, they really work with you on figuring out what is going to be best for your needs. So when I was at Wells, I had a huge interest in filmmaking, but I was a computer science major and also interested in the business world. So Wells helped me to get my first camera into my hands. I had an internship that was set up with my high school sport department, where I was essentially a freelancer who was creating content for their sports teams and working on their web design. So I was in HTML and doing stuff for computer science, and I got a bit of that fix for the filmmaking and business side. And then moving forward with that, that's kind of what took me into the business school at Wells, and what got me involved in the business competition. And with those skills, you know, from pitches to writing business plans, that's what allowed me to create 3 different businesses after school. One during school, actually, which is my photography business, which is currently my main focus right now. But after Wells, you know, I was able to continue my mentorship with Kevin and talk to him about the businesses that I was running. And that was a huge portion of why Wells mattered so much to me, is that these connections that lasted and this help and mentorship from Kevin that could continue on.
Thank you. And I'd like to just clarify one thing before I turn it back to Gerard here. As relative to the internships, there is no requirement for Wells students to take an internship on campus. The requirement is that at least one of your internships be off campus. So for those students from MCC, you could actually do an internship anywhere. And we can tell you about that. You can feel free when you apply to ask questions, to ask your admissions advisor questions about internships. But we have students who have completed internships both throughout the United States and internationally. And some students have identified internships or found internships on their own. Other ones have come to myself and Professor Ryan and to Linda Galbato and to others and just said that they'd like to work in a certain industry or perhaps for a certain company. And then either through our networks or else through networks of some of our colleagues, we've reached out and helped them achieve their goal, whether it's to work. We had a student working for a company in Costa Rica, as well as one in the Caribbean and one in San Francisco. We've had a number who've had interest in internships around the Washington, D.C. area, but many of them have wanted internships right in this area, whether it be in Rochester or somewhere else in the upstate. So there are a lot of connections, and we can help you with those. And we feel very positive about the benefit of those internships. So I'll turn it back to Gerard now.
Thank you, Kevin. And I think too that, again, that goes back to you know, what we were talking about earlier, that Wells does everything one student at a time. So we will work directly with you to figure out what those internship experiences are going to be, what the right ones are for you, and where those things occur. We had a couple of questions coming from our participants. One is just a kind of a baseline question about what qualifies a student to be a participant in the program. Your completion of your associate's degree in business at MCC sets you up perfectly for this program. So we're guaranteeing that those credits will transfer and that you'll move seamlessly into the bachelor's degree portion of the program. We're designing the program specifically to do that. With regard to scholarships and aid, again, the cost is set to be to match the cost of a SUNY 4-year institution. And then again, if you qualify for federal Pell or New York State TAP, that will further reduce that costs beyond that. Just as a point of information, the actual tuition cost for this program is much higher. And so we're setting that at the out-of-state cost, which is over $18,000. But every student who is a New York State resident will be awarded what we're calling a residential grant to bring that cost of tuition down to match that SUNY cost. We have a couple of other questions that I will, or one other question I'll throw to the panel, and maybe Kevin and Aaron can answer this too, but I'll also add another question onto it. So the question is about any kind of program for aspiring lawyers, which I'll just interpret to say, maybe comment on the fit of a business degree, bachelor's degree related to the legal profession. And the other thing I'll throw out is, as I was watching or listening to the discussion, I think Zach called you Professor Aaron and Professor Kevin. It's probably a little bit cliche to say our faculty and students are on a first name basis, but I know that they are. One of the things that took me a while to understand about Wells when I came here was that because of the size and the personal attention, that also means that students have the same faculty member for multiple courses. Which means that there's an intimate knowledge of a student's learning style, preferences, and their personal goals and professional goals that our faculty get a handle on that may not happen at a larger institution. So I wonder if first, Darren, you could talk about the other, and then either faculty and or alumni could comment on that other dynamic and how that's made a difference for you.
Well, I'm married to an attorney, so I'll just tell you, the nice thing about our business program is it's inspired by liberal arts. So we have a nice mix of different skill sets that we have you working on. And we constantly hear, and I'm sure our alumni here can talk about the speaking skills that you learn from all the presentations you do, that they are all set, not only speaking, but the actual presentations they put together are very sharp. And you don't always get to learn that at other places. We work on your writing skills, which are very important. And there's a mix of courses that focus on it. We do have a course in the legal environment of business that you will be taking. And I see no reason why a business degree at Wells, I feel like would be a great fit for an aspiring lawyer, because we provide you all those skills and thinking about ethical decision-making too. Kevin, do you want to add?
If I can just add to that, I come from a family of 7 lawyers, 3 of whom had undergraduate business degrees. And I also had an undergraduate business degree and applied to law school and was accepted there. I took a different career trajectory into a family business, but in any case, I've been an arbitrator for American Arbitration Association for 25 years and had to go and take law courses. So in any case, you can, this is a very good major to pursue if you want to go into business law. And there are so many different opportunities there. Some of the most popular types of law these days, in addition to corporate law, have to do with those interested in technology, say, for example, and other fields were directly related to business. So that business undergraduate degree and the law school degree can be very valuable, depending upon what your interests are, what type of law you would like to practice.
I wonder if before we move on to the topic of student-faculty interaction, either Linda or Cindy, if you want to comment a little bit about how we work with students in terms of the advising process when students are planning on law school.
I'm happy to start that conversation. So students that are planning on law school, you're probably going to hear this sort of framing of answers as we continue, but we have an alum who is an assistant district attorney and teaches courses at Wells, and also works very closely with our students in an advising capacity. Along with working directly with my office as well, but that just is, I think, another shout out to the involvement of our alums and how prevalent you're going to find that to be. So in terms of a law advising officer or personnel, then that alum fills that role along with the support from other faculty advisors in my office. I don't know if Cindy has anything to add to that.
I guess the other piece I would add here is that a number of folks have mentioned is really the fact that we're able to work one-on-one with students and really get to know students. And that's for all members of the Wells faculty and staff. And because you are working with students over the course of their semesters and years, you do get to know them. And you do get to know their strengths, their weaknesses. I think it was Lindsay who sort of mentioned, having an internship in which she was going to be pushed a little bit, right? Challenged, right? That was going to be something that was beneficial to her and not just checking off a requirement for a program, but what's going to allow her to get a better sense of the direction she wants to take. Right. So in terms of coursework, experiential learning opportunities, really all is to help you. I think, Gerard, you mentioned the term tailor, right? To tailor your experience as well. So while folks can have similar interests, they may take similar courses. If they want to work in different type of environments, they'll have different type of internship opportunities and experiences that then may lead them to take other types of courses, both within the business program, but also across the college's curriculum. And so what we're really committed to doing is really having that very personalized approach to education. That's really based on relationships, right? Getting to know our students and really working with students for student success.
So just in keeping touch with what's happening in the chat as well, we had a question about preparation for grad school, and Cindy put in the chat a response that highlights our articulation agreements, in particular with the MBA program at Clarkson. We have a relatively new arrangement for pathway to the master's in management with Hobart and William Smith, and a number of other graduate programs that students move on to from here. And then we had the question, real estate. And I'll look to our faculty and alumni to speak to anything around that. I do know I just spoke with one of our December grads who's moving into a career in real estate, and I'm very excited about that. So we can go there, and also, again, this topic of student-faculty interactions and mentorship.
Kevin, do you want to talk about the real estate?
I'll start on that, and then maybe turn over the conversation to some of the alums who have joined us. The real estate, we have a number of alums who have gone into real estate, and there are different ways where you can go directly into real estate, or with programs that the various real estate firms have. But in addition to that, there are some real good real estate programs if you wanted to pursue a graduate degree. And I'm not sure, since it just says real estate, if there's a specific question that student has that we can help you out with. If so, why don't you submit a follow-up question if you'd like to know more?
I think he was answering
yeah,
what type of lawyer he wanted to be.
Good point. But we do have students who have taken the real estate license exams. So if that was an interest of someone, we do encourage that also.
I'd like to hop in here and just say, for a student that knows their specific interests is, going to law school for real estate, that's where experiential learning is so beautiful. So to give students the opportunity to connect, maybe with, working in a law office that specializes in real estate or not, or maybe working in real estate in some other business capacity, just to really try some things out and confirm what they believe they're interested in, but also to maybe discover some new things that align with their interests.
And if I can just add as an example, I have a networking contact who works in the federal government. He's an attorney who works in real estate, as well as one at the state level. So these people can be very helpful for someone who's interested in real estate for possible internships. And so our network is very wide relative to internship contacts, and that's just one example. So I hope that helps you a little bit, Brandon, with your question.
So let me return to our alumni group and speak to this topic of student-faculty relationship and mentoring. And maybe if one of you can point to, one of those moments where the kind of personal attention that you received at Wells was really provided kind of an edge for you.
Yeah, I think I could definitely start us off here. So one of my great mentors, he's in the room, Kevin here. As we said, we get really close with our professors and such. So as you can tell, I was just using first name basis, but we had many long nights, especially with business competitions and such, go until midnight, 1 a.m. practicing. He and other professors and such had tons of great connections for me as well. So we had a connection to a alumni down in Ithaca, Ariel, who helped me with pitching practice and public speaking, as well as then we had connections down to people at Villanova and UPenn to really help get these business ideas up and running for these competitions. And it just continued to build and build and build, and really gave me the platform for where I am today to continue with that line of just within the business world. So I have to say the small classrooms and just the conversation-based classes has really created many mentors from Wells for me.
Yeah, that's what's fantastic about Wells, if I can jump in, is just the connections you make because the classrooms are so small, because it's so discussion based, and they'll work with you no matter what. So when I was a senior, I commuted to school, and that made my schedule tough, especially in the winter when there would be days where the roads to Wells were completely covered in snow. Had to figure out how to just like Zoom into class. This is pre-COVID. We weren't all super familiar with Zoom. So they were so accommodating for me in figuring out my schedule, in letting me work around in some ways. And then, even just staying with me after our normal class period. If I had extra time to discuss a little bit more about what I missed, they were happy to. Both Kevin and Aaron did that for me a few different times. So I can't speak enough about how great those connections are.
I'm going to piggyback off of that statement because not only are Wells professors so ready to meet you where you're at and to help, provide some flexibility with schedules and that kind of stuff, but I'm actually a sociology and anthropology major. I have a couple of different business minors that I got through the business school, but I remember taking accounting 2 with Professor Wanzer and dying. And just like, that is not how my brain works. Ironic now that I work for an accounting firm, but I went up to him and I was like, Wanzer, I am so stressed about this class. Like, what can I do? It's not that I'm not trying. And it's not that you're not a great professor. He's an excellent professor, but he was like, Lindsay, why don't you write me a paper for your final? Why don't you write me a paper that like compares 2 different companies and you can talk about all of the concepts that we've learned. So I talked about Dunkin' Donuts versus Starbucks because I love coffee, and, ended up with an A in the class. And I was just so thankful that someone was there to kind of meet me halfway. And it's not like a set, this is what the syllabus is, so we have to do it this way. If you have some sort of issue with like some people's brains just don't work with numbers, like express that. I think that Wells does a really good job with identifying you as a human. You're not you very much can't be a number. There's only 400 of us. So kind of really digging into that personal relationship. And then, as I'm sure everyone is going to have 80 different examples of the Wells professors just make themselves available. I have Kevin's cell phone number. I love Kevin and his wife Judy, and we've gone on vacations together with like my family. So there's a lot of learning and growing as a group. And that's why I'm very excited if it does end up being like a cohort kind of group through the business school. I think that's going to be awesome. It'll be a little bit more of like the Wells bubble in Rochester, which I think is going to be super important.
Excellent. Thank you, Lindsay. And again, speaking to that tailored experience that we promise at Wells. For our alumni, again, I'm wondering if you, some of you might talk about right now, what are you working on that's exciting to you in your current role?
Can I hop in, I guess? So I currently am working on my photography business. I did have 2 other businesses that did close, mostly because of scaling issues. We had a waffle business that was crazy that Kevin was helping us with mentorship, and the waffles were amazing. And we missed the company a lot, but we just burned out so badly with that. But with the photography business, I've been lucky enough to grow that like crazy this past year, and have been really involved in TikTok marketing and learning way more about how marketing is changing so much for businesses right now. And I'm even getting into a role of working as a consultant for other businesses to work with them on their TikTok marketing and things like that. So it's a really exciting time. I've got a TikTok coming out with Crocs today, so that's exciting. Very happy to be partnering with them. So some really cool stuff going on.
And if I can just interject, I have to brag for Keegan a little bit. His photography is very specialized, but his photography was featured on the big board in Times Square in New York City in this past year. So he's very highly respected and at the professional level with his photography, working with businesses, not only Crocs, but other businesses that he may or may not want to mention due to their contracts. But in any case, some big national firms of which you would all be familiar.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, I kind of want to step in here too. Like Keegan, I'm also into filmmaking and photography. And right now I run a YouTube channel and I review tech products. And it's been a great year overall. I've had certain brands reach out to me when we review products. And this is where like the Wells business education plays such a pivotal role, because in these relationships, you obviously have to deliver on your end. So you have to go over your statistics, your engagement, your audience. You have to bring some type of value to a partnership. And just remembering my education and looking at all of these numbers, knowing how to speak to these brands, knowing how to do a presentation, like that all came full circle in my preparation for this moment. So this is what I'm really excited for, getting more exposure and working with more brands for my YouTube channel. So.
And something I'm not sure if everyone caught on to earlier, but Wells really focuses on making sure that you learn how to think critically and your presentation skills are on point and you can solve problems in a way that makes sense for a variety of clients. There's like a class that's literally all you do. Innovation is great. So being able to develop those skills regardless of what kind of class you're taking or what the like meat section of that class is, it's woven into every syllabus, which is awesome. And it's kind of cool when you like join the workforce because people don't expect that anymore. It really makes you shine. It really makes you stand out. I started with my company relatively recently. It's only been 5 months. And at the start of my end of the year review, the director of HR apologized to me because she was like, I didn't expect all of this coming from someone who, you know, rented cars for the past 5 years of their life, which is a totally fair assumption. But they were like, here's a whole bunch more responsibility. You're going to lead your own team. Like, we're so excited to have you. And I really credit that to all of the kind of sneaky skills that Wells works into every single class that they offer.
Yeah, and just to kind of add on that, you know, listening to, you know, kind of referring this back to those relationships that you can build at Wells with the smaller class size and the smaller environment. You know, as I mentioned before, I am currently a manager for TTI. You know, I do have a team. I have 15 direct reports. And what I've been doing, what has kind of allowed me to be successful, is catering some of that personability with my team that I currently have, right? Working in management for a major, big corporation like I do, it's easy to be lost in the numbers, right? Employees might feel like they're just another number. They might just feel like they're looking for the next promotion. And something that I can, you know, attest to my experience at Wells is I make sure to make sure all my employees have a very personal relationship with me, right? Like, I don't want them to feel like they can only reach out to me from 7 a.m. to 3:30 Monday through Friday. Like, I want to know how they're doing with their personal lives. I want to know what they're doing on their weekends, if they're seeing family, what they're doing with their what they're doing for the holidays, things like that. And if I didn't have my education and experience that I did have at Wells, I don't think that I would be as prepared to build a great team culture that I currently have down in the DMV area right now. So every day I'm thankful for that. And, you know, I keep in touch with Kevin and Aaron all the time. I talk to Kevin very frequently still to this day. And again, too, just being able to be successful coming from a small college, working for a major corporation where most of the people I work with, they went to those Penn States or Michigan States or Ohio States. And coming from a very small school and having my skill set be appreciated in a big corporation like this, it's a great feeling.
And if I can just add, just to put things in perspective for our listeners, for the students from MCC, Zach graduated 1.5 years ago from Wells. He's running a $40 million division of a large international firm with all these direct reports. And those are all from the skills that he developed himself and which Wells helped him to develop. And that's what we can do for you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, so for this, I kind of have to watch what I say because I am in product development here for Ryobi Power Tools. For those of you who don't know Ryobi Power Tools, we're the green company and Home Depot's. We're all over in there. So the really cool opportunity I have right now, I have an opportunity to kick out another company from Home Depot and replace it directly with Ryobi Tools right now. So I can't exactly say what it is or whatnot, but in a year, 2023 is kind of the planned launch date. So I'll be happy to tell you a little more then. But with this, it's great because I've given the opportunity to work with the engineers in our company, work with the marketing department, work with our sales teams in Europe and Canada, Mexico, et cetera, to really just bring everyone together and send this idea out. And then with that, right now, the stage we're in, we're actually reaching out to potential customers, seeing what types of things they need in this accessory that's going to be coming out, seeing what they like, don't like, etc. So without getting into the innovation side at Wells and the whole working with all the customers, working with pitching, etc., I don't think I would be in this spot here right now.
I am always so impressed to listen to and hear the accomplishments of our alumni, all the ways that you've carved out a bright future for yourselves. And in the process of doing that, you're enhancing and improving the lives of others. So it's really amazing. I want to appreciate Kevin, who's the chief bragger on behalf of students and alumni at Wells. I think that's important that he clarifies just how amazing our alumni are. I want to thank all of our panelists. I want to thank our colleagues at Monroe Community College for helping us make this connection and making this possible. We are extraordinarily excited about moving forward with this program. We hope this has heightened your interest in the prospect of pursuing a BS degree in business from Wells College at MCC. And please stay in touch. We are going to have an ongoing presence on your campus. Melinda in particular already spends a lot of time at Monroe Community College. And so she will be your primary contact for interest in this program. And we look forward to learning more about you and hoping to work with you in the future. So thank you very much for your time and our best wishes to everyone. Take care.